Alright guys, here's the project that we're working on right now. It's kind of a bookshelf slash bench slash entertainment center. There's going to be a TV up here. And it's a big long thing. It's about 20 feet long. I want to draw your attention to the benches over here. This is the joinery we're going to be working on today. Quickly highlight this. And we're going to be cutting some dados and some rabbets. Now dados and rabbets are sort of almost the exact same thing, but kind of have two different names. A dado is a groove, just a rectangular groove that you're going to find on the inside of a board somewhere. This is going to allow another piece to come and fit in. It's a really nice way to fit stuff together. A rabbet is essentially the same thing, but it's on the end of a board, making the end of the board have an L shape. So we're going to use the same type of cutting method to cut both of them, which is going to be the table saw with a set of dado cutters. But you could use a router, or you could cut it by hand if you were really ambitious. There's lots of ways you could do this. Since I've already cut all the joinery for the benches, we're going to focus our efforts on the bookshelf today. I'm going to start with these outside pieces, and they're both going to require 2 dados. So the thing I'm really looking for is how deep is that dado and how far is it from the end of the board. If I use my polyline command, I can take a look and I can see that it's 15¼ inches right to there, which is important. I'm not going to be able to use the fence since the fence is set up for a blade that's 1/8 of an inch wide, and our dado set is going to be 3/4 of an inch wide, so that these parts fit perfectly into the dados and rabbets we're cutting today. Here we've got the table saw with the dado stack set up. As you notice, there's a couple different parts to it. These outside cutters are required. You always have to have both of those on, and together I think it makes it about 1/4 of an inch wide. And then in between, you're going to see these chippers. And the chippers help make it extra wide and remove extra material. And what you can't see down in there, maybe you can if we're really looking in there, are some spacers down in there to kind of space some of the chippers apart. And those just help us come to our final width. Anytime you get a set of dado blades, you're going to see that it has a big table telling you exactly how to make certain sizes of grooves. And it's just a combination of blades, chippers, spacers, and they include some shims as well, so you can do some fine tuning and make your dado fit really, really well. I set mine up for 3/4 of an inch. My boards ended up being slightly fat, so I threw like 1 or 2 very small shims in there, and now I've got a perfect fit. Here's how we're going to end up cutting all of the dados and rabbets in the panels. I sacrificed my crosscut sled to now become a dado crosscut sled. There's a couple reasons for that. The main one is that this guy is deep enough to actually fit the panels. If you see on this guy over here, it's slightly skinnier and you can't quite fit a 15-inch panel in there with everything that we got going on. You'll also see the back of it's very torn out. This guy's pretty ready to be retired. On our new setup, we've added an MDF little backer board there, and you can see here that's the perfect size of the dado that we're cutting. The reason behind this is to avoid tear out, because some of these dados are going to point towards the front, and if we have tear out, it's going to be really difficult to clean up. I've got the blades at the exact width I need, and I've also got them at the perfect height. I made several, more than several, test cuts to get it exactly where I wanted. I finally found the one that was the perfect recipe, and so we're going to get going from here. Now, the last thing we want to make sure of is that our fence is in the correct position. Pull my tape out here, excuse me. As you can see, I've got it at 15¼ which is where I'm going to need to make my first cut on those outside vertical pieces. But if we look at the fence, it's not anywhere near 15¼ and that's due to the fact that this dado stack is a lot wider than the 1/8-inch blade that this fence is set up for. So we can't really trust the fence, but we still are going to use it, so I have to use a tape to make sure that I end up in the exact right place. My next cut is at 31 inches. So again, using the tape to check it. I also know at the very bottom of this I want to have a 2-inch leg, so I can measure from this side too to make sure I'm definitely in the right place. I am, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the next 2 dados. had a little bit of tear out, so I'm actually going to move this to ensure that I have a good backstop again. Now at this point, any amount of tear out I had on that dado I just cut, I can orient it towards the back. And if this one turns out clean, it can be oriented either way, so I don't have to worry about tear out.